This video app review is brought to you by the iPhoneAppReview.com.
Hey guys, this is Valerie Lauer with the iPhoneAppReview.com here with a video app review of an app we've had this week called Memorize iDi. Memorize iDi is an application that uses really kind of an old, ancient, several centuries old mathematic formula to teach you how to be a memorizing genius. Think of it as a mnemonic calculator, rather. If you're trying to figure out a way to remember a series of numbers, this application teaches you the method. It has you go through testing and also has several flashcard features you can use to actually learn this whole process. This was created by someone centuries ago, and it's really kind of a cool thing. So we're going to go ahead and look at the Learn section, because as you can tell, the Memorize section of the application actually is locked. I've been playing with this for a little while, but it hasn't come unlocked yet, so we'll kind of poke through this application. I'll tell you what actually is supposed to happen in that Memorize section. This is just a basic introduction to this kind of mnemonic calculator idea. It tells you that it uses the herringold method, which is where it uses letters to represent numbers, and it kind of takes you through these different steps of learning it, testing it, using examples, and then memorizing it. Again, really a nice, thorough intro. This is an application that looks beautiful on the iPad, in case you can't tell. It is very easy to use and displays quite clearly and cleanly, so I was a really big fan of that. The app was not difficult to play with or to get to know at all, and you can navigate back and forth that way, or by tapping up here, or just tap that to go back to the other menu. Here is where you'll actually get into how the code works. The code works where each number can be represented by two different letters. And the application uses this cool shape-shifting feature to show you that in a way that's maybe even more memorable. So anytime you see an S or a Z, it stands for the number 0. For 1, it's T and D, 2, it's N and H, etc., etc. But again, really kind of a cool way to show you this as they kind of take you through these different features. 6 is G and J, 7 is C and K, 8 is F and V, 9 is B and P, and you're back to the beginning. Now, how you unlock the rest of this is actually through this, by using these tests. There's a beginner, advanced, intermediate, and expert level of these tests. We'll start out in the simple section because I don't want to show you how I'm not so good at this, but it's kind of a cool app, like getting it, I said before, and definitely something that after a little bit of practice, like you see, I've had a little bit of practice, and it's not that difficult to remember these. And before I pat my own back, there you go. You get one wrong and you go back. So you unlock these individual sections by following your score up here. And later on, they get more difficult. They'll show you the word and the picture that gets associated with it. You'll have to think of it in terms of 2, R, and X. What's going to symbolize those? Oh, like I said, I'm just not. I've been doing this for a little bit, but I'm definitely not as advanced as I would like to be after just a little bit of playing around with this. But still a very, very cool application and a neat concept to get behind, and definitely kind of an interesting way to practice your memorization, which is great. Again, that goes into advanced, and it goes into expert, which just shows you the image, so you kind of have to play around with that. And as with a lot of learning features, combining visual representations with letters and numbers is a really great way to do that. Here's an example section that kind of takes you through how that actually works. So if you wanted to remember 1492, when you had the memorized calendar, or the mnemonic calendar unlocked, you would type in 1492 and tap on the Memorize iDi, and it would give you an option to view the image. So for instance, 14 would be TR, TREE, and 92 would be bone. And that's a really clear way of kind of learning all that. And then here's what your image would be for that at any time you were to give it an example. Just kind of a really cool application. And then there's this Pictionary section where you can actually scroll through and get an idea of what each of these letters would be. That's an automatic version of it, or there's a manual where you can actually scroll through it and jump by tens if you choose to, or you can see each individual number, the image, and the word that would stand for it in any case. So very, very cool, as I mentioned before. Great navigation, an interesting concept. My only complaint is that I've been through this application, as I mentioned, for a while, and I can't use this. This is the only thing I think would be really, really practical. If you have, say, a new PIN number you want to memorize, you want to go into this memorize calculator, stick that PIN number in, and you see the images right away to kind of get a really cool way to memorize that easily. Making it unlockable would be very, very convenient, and so for that reason I did mark this application down just a little bit. The app does cost $2.99, so the pricing is, intermediate. That's a pretty fair price for something that's this in-depth and interesting and very involved and different learning method. If you're someone who needs to learn how to memorize numbers easily, or you're looking for a new way to do that, this is definitely a cool way to do it with a practice that's been around for quite a long time, and that you have quite a interesting step-by-step learning process that the app walks you through individually. Here at the iPhoneAppReview.com, we did give this application a 4 out of 5 stars. Again, with it having some potential, it has some different languages it actually translates into, and it being a cool thing for anyone who wants to go into competitive memorization, or needs this for their job or just for their personal life. So with the iPhoneAppReview.com, this has been Valerie Lauer with the Video App Review. Until next time.